Welcome back, everybody, to X's and the U. We're on episode number 64, guys, and just let me let you know. We might be the X's, but we're your experts in covering the Union. My name is Matt Gandazik. I'm the ex-president of the Sons of Ben. I'm joined with ex-head capo Adam Booth. And, of course, honoring us is ex-player and forever legend, the one and only Mr. Sebastian Latou. Gentlemen, how are we feeling on this Monday after another Union victory?
Feeling great, like you say, another victory, and what a good one, especially it was a beautiful finish. But yeah, it feels good.
Yes, we're gonna get Adam. How you feeling now?
I don't even know how to feel. It's like Talladega Nights. I'm not sure what to do with my hands right now. I'm almost confused, but I'm loving it.
What a difference the World Cup break made, and what a difference the return of a certain German left back and a new knee of a young Quinn Sullivan. What a difference just those two things made for this team. But yeah, so Union returned to Subaru Park to face our friends, the Red Bull. That was July 22nd. I wasn't able to be there. Mom's birthday. Plus, I was traveling. But the Union win 3-1. I mean, hell of a game. And I'll let Seba, you want to just wrap up a little bit New York with that win? I mean, it's the return of Kai and Pierre and everything. Like, what a game that was. And we know you did the radio.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was kind of a question mark for all of us, knowing that, Bradley Carnell is not here anymore, Ryan Richter taking over, new staff, coming from a long break after the World Cup. So we kind of wanted to see a reaction from the team, but was not sure if it was going to happen, but it did. So it was quite, I think, one of the best games I saw since a long time at Subaru Park. It was like a full performance from the team. And I think, we won 3-1. We could have maybe scored more, but at the end of the day, I think the energy and the kind of work ethic from the team was here for 90 minutes, and it was kind of great to see. And like you say, great to see Quinn Sullivan back coming off, the bench, being healthy, having Neil Pierre coming back from his loan in a Danish team and scoring a goal, and then Kai back there, like you said, like something you can really replace at a left back. It's such a huge help offensively and defensively to stable, this defense and to give great assists. So overall, yeah, it was a fantastic performance and a great way to start the second half of the season.
Yeah, and one little shout out to our friend Indiana Vasilev. He scores a goal, and Adam, he's now given me low-key Brian Carroll vibes, where he does like the unsung dirty work that I don't think people give him enough credit for, just like I don't think Brian Carroll got a lot of credit back in the day. But I just feel like when I watch Indy play, it's just low-key doing the dirty work, and I was happy he got a result. So, yeah. Your impressions of Red Bull, Adam, because I believe you were there as well, right?
Yeah, that was my first game back at Subaru since Defense Force, so that was I would like to say that I brought back the winning ways, but I don't want to take too much on myself. I actually want to say it was a group effort. But no, legitimately, that was a stellar performance in the Union, and it was, as Seba said, kind of unexpected. You did not know exactly what was going to happen going into that match, especially with Kai coming back, new manager. I didn't even know if Neil Pierre was going to feature. So that was one of these things where there's a lot of variables going into that match. Red Bull is not a slouch. They're in a playoff position right now, and I think they're playing even below their expectation, even though they just had a really good result over the weekend. I was very impressed by the crowd, because it was a very solid crowd coming off the break. I think the Union fans, despite the form of the team, were really excited to see their team back. And they put on a performance, even after allowing Red Bull to equalize the go-ahead goal and then the third one. It just seemed like a team that was instilled with confidence. And you you don't want to even think it's just the idea of, hey, Kai Wagner's here and hey, Quinn Sullivan's now coming off the bench. But like it's almost like transfers in their own respect, just getting them and changing the dynamics of this team almost instantly. It was a really stellar performance, and I was very, very pleased as a Union fan leaving the stadium that night.
Yeah, cannot disagree. It was, it's funny with Ryan Richter. You see more confidence maybe for the younger guys playing now. Like we said, we didn't think Neil Pierre was going to play, but I think Richter said he's been coaching him since he was 11. And then I feel like Cavan feels more comfortable. So, Richter being an academy coach and knowing these kids is maybe more comfortable putting them in those kind of situations that maybe Bradley was. I'm not sure, not there, but so far Ryan Richter, hottest coach of the league. So you can't fault that,
We need to have a serious conversation about the form of Cavan Sullivan, because the child, because he is still a child, looks possessed right now. Like it is. We're going to get into it deeper in the next couple of matches that we talk, but to watch him specifically in that Red Bull game and the chemistry that he had with Frankie Westfield, it just felt like, okay, so the hype was real. And this is the kind of discussion that we need to have. Like, I remember watching a clip just after that game from the podcast of Tim Howard and Landon Donovan, and people were asking who's the next American to come in and truly put the soul on fire. He said Cavan Sullivan. He said Cavan Sullivan has the swag, he has the temperament, he has the attitude that is needed and lacking from the United States national team. And I think it is something to watch him now truly have confidence and feel like he belongs in this moment. That was really Red Bull alone, just to stand out that particular game. That was a really impressive evening by the young gentleman.
Yeah. And then just a bit of news in between, I believe. The Union sold our center back, Big Mac, to the Glasgow Rangers. $4.5 million, and more importantly, a big percentage. I don't know what it was, but I heard it was a significant sell-on. So Rangers are pretty famous for bringing somebody in, and then everybody in Europe's looking, and then because it's only them and Celtics, they don't really need everybody, so they'll sell them off. So, you're saying Aberdeen now? You're muted.
Sir, Hearts. Obviously, the team that came within like 1 point of winning the league this year, my friend. Hearts, no,
Yeah, I'm really not that big into the Scottish Premier League because it's not really Premier.
It's catch up, my guy, catch up.
Yep, but yeah, Big Mac gone, $4.5 million. So some good business because he was all upset anyhow. So at least the Union got a number that we're happy with, and he's in Europe now. Next up was Seattle, guys. Again, I was watching it via Apple TV on my iPad, which was not the best experience for your boy when he was at a hotel ballroom putting up an event. But Union win, 1-0. Guys, what about it?
Seba, what'd you got for me?
Yeah, I mean, Seattle was a different game. I feel like, much better teams than the Red Bulls, not as young, more well coached, but going into a very difficult path right now with a lot of losses. So they just lost their center back before the game on the previous game. So we had kind of like a team who didn't really like give a lot of space, but they were young, and I think the Union did a very good job kind of waiting for their time to score the goal. And when they did, then I don't think Seattle was very dangerous. I think defensively we had a very good performance to be strong together and get a clean sheet. So I would say, like, if you compare the two, it was maybe less entertaining, the Seattle game, than the Red Bulls, but it was a very good professional win, like 3 days after the win against the Red Bulls. Physically, you can see a bit of tiring legs, especially after the long break. But we got the job done, we got the 3 points, and we can move on. But it's kind of like a performance that maybe you will have not seen like before the World Cup break, and having, kind of the guys not playing together, but they did, stay together, even if they didn't maybe create as much action in front of the goal of Seattle as they did against the Red Bulls.
Adam, your thoughts on Seattle?
Well, you got 16 shots, 6 on goal. You know, the guys are starting to find their shooting boots, and it was something that I saw. Like they did not, get that. I mean, they only got one goal against Seattle, but that was a game where Seattle looked out of it. You know, they're a mash unit right now. If you go through their roster, there's injury after injury after injury. So I give them a lot of credit, but that was a performance where Sebo was right. You probably could have played better, honestly, frankly. It was one of those moments where you kind of looked at us and they probably could have scored a couple more goals, but it was one of those matches where to hang on and to win that match and to not give up a late goal or anything like that, tale of two unions, because earlier in the season, that's definitely a game that you would have been hanging on to the very last second of extra time, being like, yeah, the Union might blow this somehow. But they beat a team that historically they have struggled with Seattle, and to get those 3 points in consecutive matches so close together, I thought that was a sign of resiliency and a sign of there is a possibility of a turning point. That there is not as much season left as we like to think, but there is a lot of season, and the opportunities to this team to get back into the fray are available. And matches like this are the ones that are going to be looked back at if the Union do have a turnaround, to be like, oh yeah, that was the night that we started to truly believe in this team. But good result, solid performance, and something to build on, and something to be said about Milan Iloski. I think a lot of people, I don't know if there was a big skepticism about when he was signed originally, when he came over in the transfer from San Diego. Anyone who was up late watching Apple TV, watching San Diego, knew that he was a ball winner and a goal scorer. But for him to now, if he keeps this pace up, he's going to be chasing Sebastian sooner than we think. And it's going to be something that's going to be crazy to think about. A person who probably came out of nowhere and is now thrusted himself into the conversation of one of the better scorers in Major League Soccer. And I don't know about all of his eligibilities, but hey, U.S. national team, just have a thought. Let's like just kick a tire. Let's just see. I don't know. Maybe Pepe is not the right guy. Maybe Haji Wright isn't the proper guy. Maybe we need Milan Iloski. I don't know. Thoughts?
I would be all for it. Yeah, it's funny with this team, with the Seattle game, and like I said, Mike's coverage was spotty, but you just feel like there's a fight with this team again, a la last year they fought, a la beginning of this they just rolled over. So I just feel like they're back to fighting, to being scrappy, to punching it out like good old Rocky Balboa. August 1st was Saturday, guys. I can't believe the summer is flying by as fast as it is. But we had the last place, Atlanta United. Mighty United came in, and oh crap, I thought we were going to lose that. Especially when we go up a man, we don't play so good. I don't understand it, but we don't play so good. And it was 3-2 comeback win. Seba, you had the call, so let us know what you were thinking. I mean, from Union going up a man to the play and to the, oh no, here it is, we just blew this one, to, oh my God, the one person in the world that I didn't think could kick a ball to the back of the net for the Philadelphia Union scores a game winner. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's kind of a game like out of the 3 games we played at home, it was kind of weird. It was the Red Bulls. I think we came, like I said, with a lot of energy. It was great. To see kind of like just attack after attack. The Seattle was more professional, and this one against Atlanta, it was kind of like a little games that you feel like, oh, it's going to be an easy win, but it's not. Especially against Atlanta, we just gave the last place that we had for that long time. Atlanta United was now the last place in the standing, so like, it's going to be okay. And Atlanta really make it like awful, like dirty, taking their time right away, trying to get called from the ref, like, getting even booed by the fans after 10 minutes. The Mihaj, the guy got the red card, just, staying on the ground for no reason. it was just like almost watching like Paraguay against France against. It was really like annoying, like the frustrations they were doing to just try to get a result out of this game. So as a player, I can see the frustration as a coach as well. And luckily, we got the red card in the first half. But even with the red card, we can see the like frustration building, missing action in the first half, hitting twice the crossbar, and then right after the red card, we give up the goal, kind of like falling asleep. We didn't see like the guy kind of like being on the same page and everything, kind of believing, oh, you got it, I got it, oh, you take it, but nobody was doing anything. So it was kind of like, yeah, okay, let's go to a halftime, let's get back together and let's get a win. But they came back and it was better. But again, a lot of kind of what we saw a lot during the first half of the season, like not able to break the low block of Atlanta, who play very well for their defense, just defending, kind of frustrating, like not able to find Ilorski or Damian in front. And we are just going left to right, but the service was not as good that time. And then Atlanta's got a 2-goal. And I think the first time I see like the place of Subaru like really being quiet. And it was a lot of people. And we are like 2-0 down at 10. We're like, what's going on? But I don't know why. Like you had this feeling, and I had it, in the booth that just a goal can change, the momentum. Like if they come back, that Atlanta is going to fall apart. And really, like it was a great goal by Ilorski again. Even if we didn't see him in a game, he was here at the right time to just do a nice chip again, to get his first goal. And then from that, you can see like, okay, it's coming. And at the end, like what a finish! Like having Neil Pierre in the box, he was there almost for 5-10 minutes before that, and the same. Like we cannot give good cross, and finally, won in the box to give him a chance, a perfect header to give the 2-2, and at the end, just craziness. You like feel like it's coming, and last action, it could have been a 3-2 for Atlanta. They have a chance of going for the goal. It's a beautiful tackle, I think, by Kai Wagner to win the ball back. And then it goes back to him and he crosses. And who else than, the great story of Alado, who didn't get a goal this year and, gets signed, lack of confidence, and gives the win to the team at the last second. That's what you love about the story. So very happy, for him, very happy for the team to kind of get back and really like build even more a bigger, strong connection between all of them to keep going. They play very well. Not really. They had like action, but you can see like nothing was working. But at the end, they get the win. So yeah, I was so happy to beat this team at Atlanta, who were just like so annoying and don't really like play the games the right way and just try to cheat a little bit. And it's not what we like to see.
Yeah, no, it was. I was so relieved seeing that. The comeback. I'm going, oh, well, okay. That was the feeling, just like I keep saying, they're fighting now where they weren't the first half, where you're starting to believe, I'm starting to believe, Adam. And what about you? What were your thoughts on that 3-2 win?
Look, when I was watching this at home, taking care of my son, and when that second goal went in, I turned it off. I started following it on ESPN, like the Gamecast, which if you haven't actually used ESPN Gamecast to watch a soccer game, it's really good now. It's actually pretty like up to date on like actual movements and passes and like letting you know what's happening in the action. So I was like, all right, let me put my son to bed. It's going to be a disaster. I even texted the group chat. This is a clanker by the Union, to be up 1-0, to be up a man for the better part of 70 minutes and to be down 2-0. It was disappointing, and I straight up I said to the group chat, there's some soul searching that's going to have to be done after a match like this, especially after coming off of 2 successful matches. And then I texted the group chat, never mind, and Seba gave me a haha because it was basically, wow, how the tables have turned. First off, look, I love Neil Pierre, but I need a power forward to back up LeBron for the Sixers. So what are we doing putting this 6'7" dude in a soccer uniform? I'm just saying, man should be dunking on somebody. I just have some thoughts.
You know,
He's going to be dunking on Tim Ream's U.S. men's national career. That's what he's going to be doing.
Oh my God, he has like this is Peter Crouch on steroids right now. This man is about to be one of the scariest set piece specialists in the history of this league if he can make this consistent. Because oh my God, to have the foot of Kai Wagner and the head of Neil oh God, that sounds like magic. Anyway, look, Atlanta's not good. To be down 2-0 against Atlanta, you should be disappointed. That's it. Miguel Almiron, he's good, but you know that was a garbage goal. He somehow snuck it in the same way Mike Richards did against the Canadians all those years ago. But you know, sometimes it happens. But to have the resiliency to come back there, I absolutely love it. I adore it. If there was a person who that was their first Union game, they're a Union fan for life. You know, like they have bought a jersey now. They're checking the schedule. They possibly have thought about a season ticket plan. Because that's a game that creates fans. That's a game that reminds you on the particulars on why this sport is the best. You know, because that kind of emotion and odds and all of that, it doesn't exist anywhere else. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. So that is a game that MLS should have on a loop. And like the fact that it was between two teams that are so low on the standings is the only reason why Major League Soccer hasn't tried to put this as game of the week and put it on a loop anywhere they can. Because that's the level of awesome that was. And to see Subaru Park go into raptures in the way that I haven't seen since maybe I would say probably what was it, the Red Bull game, like when it was the Glesnes goal against Red Bull. That might be the last time I've seen that stadium in that function. So I would say 100%, you know, that is one of the better games I've ever seen. Disappointing because you still now check the standings and they're still not remotely close to the line yet, even after 3 wins in a row. But that is an encouraging game, and you know you're allowed to feel good again, Union fans. Like that's you're allowed to be happy about your club again.
Yeah, I mean, listen, 3 games, 9 points. You can't be mad at it. The team's looking confident, and like I said, with the confidence. We talked Kevin Sullivan playing with more confidence. You got Pierre, obviously he's confident. He's there. He's probably taller than 6'7" now with all the confidence and walking on air. Kai Wagner coming back, confidence. You know, Andre Blake has confidence in his defense in front of him. The one question I have for you, Seba, is Alado scores the game winner. Oh, Seba's not with us right now, so Adam, you can take this. Alado scores a game winner, hasn't sniffed the net, has barely sniffed time, has been having huge issues adjusting to just life over here and in general. What does a goal like that do to a young man that has been just having not a great 2026 in the city of Philadelphia?
I think it's absolutely massive for him, his confidence, for what the team needs overall. Because look, it's not as much as I'm enjoying the Pierre experience. It's not really that fun to see a center back be outscoring both of your signed strikers over the last couple of years. But it's something where you definitely have to wonder, you know, can this be a turning point for the young man? Can this be something that gives him confidence to get on the field and actually score more goals? Because that was fantastic. Like, it was one of these goals where you're watching it and you say to yourself, the talent you have to achieve that, not a lot of people actually have. Even at the striker position, even at this level, not a lot of people can just redirect a pinpoint pass in that way and put it on net and put it in, slot it basically in the bottom corner. The Union, as much as I've enjoyed Kai Wagner coming back, as much as Quinn Sullivan has been a addition
as much as Pierre coming in and basically now solidifying himself as probably our center back of the future. You still probably need to get someone in the transfer market who can score goals, because there's a lack of that right now on your roster in terms of people who are supposed to score goals. Now, I don't know about Bruno. I don't know about now if having Kai Wagner is going to change that dynamic and make it better for both of these gentlemen to score more goals. That's what you're hoping. But for now, seeing that goal go in for the young man, watching him basically celebrate in a way where it looked like that was a big moment for him. It looked like he was feeling the pressure, coming in as a signing, coming in with the money that the Union tend not to spend on that for a signing. And for him to have his first goal and for it to be a game winner and against the team that, look, if you're a Union fan, like a diehard Union fan, Atlanta's a little bit of a rival. You know, like in the last couple of years, that Atlanta fans don't like us. We do not like them. And that has been a bit of a matchup that it's disappointing that Atlanta has fallen off as far as they've fallen, because that was a solid rivalry that was blossoming, that started in the Champions League of all places. So, look, the potential is there. The potential is there for Alado, and I really hope he figures it out, because I like him. I like what he's a big dude. He's got a solid frame. He's a number 9 that you would like to have as a Lukaku, almost kind of just like give him the ball, let him do some hold up play. So let's see what his future holds. But that was a great way to cap the game.
Yeah, and Seba, we were just talking, like, you know, we see this team playing with more confidence. Calvin's got a swag, Kai's back, all that, but that goal from Alado, what does that do for that young man's confidence, considering what a bad season he's been having, you know, confidence-wise, on the field, off the field, just performance. So game-winning goal, and what a beaut. What do you think, as a former striker, that does for him?
I mean, it's huge. So it's such a confidence booster for him. Like you say, it's not an easy start for him with the team, and it just shows, like, you know, being a forward is not easy. You have a lot of pressure on yourself, and a lot of pressure, you know, put on yourself as well by, you know, the team, the fans, the fact that it's a new signing. And, you know, I think maybe coming here he was a little bit surprised about what he needed to do to kind of fit in the team and in let's say, like, the way like the Union like to play. And I think, you know, I'm a big believer that when you score, it's kind of like you get rewarded by the work you have been doing, and, you know, the like the thing, like a little thing you have been kind of like working on to make, you know, yourself better for the collective. And I feel like he probably get rewarded from, like, the little effort he has been doing since he arrived. Maybe he didn't do it at the beginning, and he thought it was going to be maybe easier for him to score right away, which was not the case, or get, you know, a starter position. But then, you know, right away with his red card against this United team, you know, not the right start and stuff like that. So he is young. He's very young, so he still, you know, need to learn a lot. But like you say, when you see the goal he scored, the winning goal, it's like, oh wow, okay, that's not an easy goal. You know, this volley, like, one time, top of the box, and really making great contact. That's a goal scorer goal. You know, if it's Zlatan who makes this one, you're like, oh wow, but it's Alado. So no, very, very, you know, happy for him. Just hope that, you know, it's just the beginning of more goal coming from him, because if it's the case, it means that the team is going to score more and win more games. So that's what we need, and you want a healthy competition between, you know, him, Damiani, and Ryan Ilowski, who are, you know, maybe the Ryan Richter are thinking of thing, and maybe one of the guys will come in the mix. But yeah, it's I think it's good and it's healthy for the team to have that. But great for him, and hopefully, you know.
Yeah, it's it's great to see, you know, and hopefully there's more to come, and maybe it'll rub off on Bruno, and we score some of these goals that we think we should be scoring with some of the shots that they do get. And now, you know, the other thing is, you can't overlook this. Frankie Westfield's got 5 assists on the team, leading the team. You know who's in third place with the team? Kai Wagner with 3. He's played 3 games. So Kai could catch Frankie, and you can have guys coming from the left and the right side. So maybe this offense can get it going. Now, We've got some uber important news, league news, Adam. Did you know the MLS had their All-Star game? Yeah, I forgot to. Yeah. They played Mexico. They won. Don't even know the score. Didn't watch it. Don't care. Whoopee! But like I said, we are still better than Liga MX. So yeah, that's fitting. I remember when we couldn't even touch them.
Quick thought about the MLS All-Star game. What are we doing? What's the point?
It's every All-Star game. It doesn't mean it's more of an excuse to have league meetings and take sponsors out and all this kind of stuff. And maybe the guys get a bonus. But now note the closest Union player to make the All-Star game was Matt Freese. So we didn't even get like a sympathy throw in like you do with Major League Baseball or something.
We didn't deserve it.
No, but
we didn't deserve anybody to go on the
Kai was
All-Star.
back in time. They could have just thrown Kai a bone. But
no, the thing about it is, and this is, I don't know how Seba feels about this because I'm pretty sure no other league in the world has an All-Star game to begin with. So we'll start with that.
That's an American thing.
But that's a shockingly American activity, is having an All-Star game. But like, we already had the Leagues Cup, right? Like that was the point of the Leagues Cup, was to bring these two leagues together, right? Like to be like, hey, Mexico, American dollars, Mexico. Like that was the conversation. So why are we having an All-Star game that includes Liga MX? Like I don't get it. Right, like there's no other All-Star game in America that does this. Like you don't see, the Pro Bowl bringing in like the Canadian Football League to play like the Argonauts and stuff. Like you don't. What are we doing? Look. When are we going to stop this cash grabby BS and become a real league? That's really my question. Because
if your role model's FIFA, you're never going to stop the cash grabby.
And I get
for the cash grabby. So
and I get that.
The answer is never, Adam. Never.
Look, we got rid of a lot of stuff in MLS that was the gimmicky beginnings. Like we got rid of the shootouts. We got rid of half of the playoff functions. We got rid of that weird way that Red Bull could become the Western Conference champions. Like we got rid of that stuff. We don't need the All-Star game anymore. We got like really good players here now and good teams and great competition. We don't need to go to, like, we just had the World Cup. So what's the point? Like, here's my question. The bigger issue I have is, why would you stop the league after it just got started? Like, we just went through a World Cup where the league was off for a month and a half. Then you're going to play 3 games, and then you're going to stop the league again? Like, what is the point of that?
Well, Adam, the good news for you is you can now ask Cherry Hill native Larry Berg these questions because he's the new commissioner of the MLS. So LAFC co-owner who he has to sell his stake, boo-hoo, he's going to make a ton of money. Larry Berg from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, went to the University of Pennsylvania, worked for Josh Harris, who now is the owner of the team that LeBron James plays for. So it's all coming together. But yeah, Larry Berg was just named today the new replacing Don after 9,000 years. And we'll have to get into Don's legacy towards the end of the year and everything that Don has brought. Love him or hate him, dislike him, dismiss him, whatever you think. Don did a good job for this league. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, we'll see if we can get Larry on sometime soon, Maybe when he's vacationing down in Wildwood. Now, if you're from Cherry Hill, you're in Ocean City. Maybe when he's in Ocean City, we'll check in with Larry. But we have a new commissioner. And as you mentioned, the Leagues Cup is coming up Thursday, August 6th, against Cruz Azul. They're the number one team in the Mexican League. Club Nexca, who Julian Carranza's with, I believe. And then Santos Laguna on the 13th. So it's boom, boom, boom. All in a row, all played. Now, are all these at Subaru Park? I believe. I think so. And then we return to MLS play, and it doesn't get easy for your boys. Up to New York City, and then Major League Messi comes in to Subaru Park on a Wednesday night. So we've got a lot of Union soccer coming up in front of us. Guys, your thoughts on Liga MX coming in, the Leagues Cup? I think we got to win this thing.
What do you think, Seba?
I mean, yeah, it's like you say, a bit weird to start the league and now you have this to play. So it just depends about. I feel like the first game because it's a bit different now. It's not maybe the top two best Mexican team and the best MLS team who will qualify. So if you first game, I don't think it limits the chance for the Union maybe to qualify.
Hold on, Seba. You're breaking up a bit. Adam, what about you? Oh, yeah, you were breaking up some, Seba.
And decide to go with, and if he plays the squad, or if he decides to rotate a little bit. But yeah, I'm,
Okay, thought we lost him. He'll be back on a second. Adam, your thoughts? I know you love this Leagues Cup.
This is so dumb. I'm so over it. I'm so over it, especially since like right now it'd be very come back and actually like it'd be very valuable right now to have like the Union continue playing well because they've been playing so well recently. It'd be great to have them still in MLS play, still, competing at a high level. But now they have to do this whole song and dance where one, is this tournament ever actually going to be played in Mexico? Because it's the whole tournament is in Subaru. It is at Subaru Park, all 3 games. Cool for the fans, and I'm happy that the Union gets 6 home games in a row, presumably of significance. But like, I don't know. I've never really been a fan of this tournament because it is a part of the cash grabbiness of MLS that I don't like. But look, I think more leagues would do it if they thought of it. And that's the scary part about it for me. But it is an opportunity, though, for the Union to get back. It's an opportunity to play some really good opponents and, test their might against some of the best without it truly hurting them. Gives them a chance to gel a little bit more, gives Kai some more minutes with the team to get used to the new offensive pairings that he is with. Gives Quinn some minutes that don't necessarily hurt him per se. I like it for that purpose, but look, in a world where you already just had a World Cup interrupt your league for a month and a half, then you had an All-Star game interrupted for another 5 days, to then transition immediately into a tournament that, look, the I don't know about the rest of the stadiums in America, but the numbers are out and people are not going to this. They are not selling out MLS stadiums to go watch the Leagues Cup. So because of that, I know it's going to be here for a while because sponsors are fun and all of that. But as a purist, I could do without this for moving forward.
Well, I think you're probably stuck with it. Maybe I don't know what the plans are for 2027 with the new schedule. I have no idea what they're going to do with this tournament, but I'm sure we will find out sooner than later. But no, after this tournament or after these first 3 games, it gets tougher. We go to New York City and then we have Miami. So that's what we have to look forward to. But the team's coming back like we were hoping for. So it's an interesting time to be a Union fan. Guys, you have anything else before as we wrap up? Just have anything to plug, anything to talk about?
No, I mean, sorry about losing you a little bit in my road right now, but no, I just wanted to touch base on the All-Star game. I think the All-Star game is fun. I think I've been there, as a player. I think it's a fun thing to be able to do. But I feel like now, since we have so many teams in the league, I understand, why we play. I would like to see maybe a East versus West. I think this will be a bit more like better for the fans, and you who could win, and maybe again the following year it can be like something like fun like that they could do. But I know before we cannot do it because of the fact that it was less team, but I think we can now. So I had fun at the All-Star game. I had fun playing, the Manchester United, the Real Madrid, also the type of team. But I feel like when you play, a good competition game against the best of the East or best of the West, it could be some things they can build on and keep the All-Star game in this league. But we'll see. I know, yes, it's definitely commercial, and try to have everybody from the league meeting, which I was there for meetings. But it's what I don't like is when like all the influencers they try to invite for the skills challenge and stuff like that. I'm like, who are those people? I don't know any of them. Like, put people like maybe older player, or somebody will come like watch. But yeah, it's a bit like forced sometimes, like in their hands. So I would like something maybe more simple and more entertaining for the fans.
I like it. So that'll bring him back to East Coast, West Coast beef, Adam. So we'll see.
That's better. I'd rather see that than just, all right, let's pick the 12 most famous people in MLS and let them play against the 12 most famous people in Liga MX. Because that's basically what it is now. And it's just like, as a Union fan, even when the Union are good, it's like, okay, who's the person that people in MLS are even going to vote for our franchise? It's like, as a Union fan, I don't probably half the reason I don't like the MLS All-Star game is we're usually rarely in it. And if we're in it, it's never like a showcase of like how good the Union talent are. So I'm just like, I'd rather our players just not go and not risk injury and just like, take a couple of days off than the spectacle of it all. But look, I get it. I was at the MLB All-Star game here in Philadelphia. I had the best time. The fan village was great. I think they should do it like the Pro Bowl, right? Pro Bowl's after the season. It's like at the very end. It's not in the middle. It's not interrupting anything. Like I think that would be a better way to handle it, and especially in an Olympic year, in a World Cup year. I feel in a World Cup year, that's the break. All right, that's your big break. That's you can't like. I like in NHL they cancel the All-Star game if it's in the Olympics because they're just like, why would we do twice? We just had the Olympics. Why would we do another break? You just saw the best of the best. Then we don't need to do this again. That would have been nicer for me, especially now that the Union are winning. I don't want any breaks. I want this momentum to keep going. I want them to feel all of this passion against New York and beat Miami and all this. I don't care if it's, Monterrey or whomever. But that's just, again, a personal opinion of an exhausted father.
Well, the All-Star game's passed you by. You can put that in the mirror. But the League's Cup's not. So we have that coming up at the Soup. So hopefully we will see you there and not the other team's fans taking over the stadium. Adam, anything to promote or talk about before we wrap it up?
LeBron James.
LeBron James is coming to Philly. Press conference for Jaylen Brown tomorrow or Thursday. And just want to give a shout out to the people of Wrexham. We hosted them in Philadelphia. They were lovely. We had a blast. The game was but that's to be said with preseason friendlies. But shout out to those folks. We had an absolute wonderful time with them. And guys, thanks for both joining. This is episode number 64. We are back, and so is the team. Talk to y'all soon. Thanks, guys.